You're live.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the July 23rd, 2025 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. So the public can join the meeting remotely by dialing 408-650-3123 and then entering access code 942-845-549. Or they can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/942-845-549. So materials for tonight's meeting have been provided to the commissioners. They're also available on the town's website, and the public is encouraged to follow along using the agenda also posted on our website. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the commission. Before we begin, let me do a roll call. Megan Langley is not here. Michelle Colross.
Here.
Mark Sclammo.
Here.
Ricky Arizmi.
Here.
Tom Fallon.
Here.
And Rachel Girardi.
Here.
Also, be advised that this meeting will be recorded and is available on Auburn Cable Television. So, if anyone in the audience intends to speak this evening, please state your name and your address. So, without further ado, the first matter on our agenda is 7 p.m. public hearing. Gina Lewis Sargent, a request for determination of applicability to remove trees at 276 Prospect Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Okay, so members of the commission had an opportunity to look at the trees at 276 Prospect Street last Saturday, I believe. What can you report?
So I believe, are they online or anything?
No.
No.
No, they weren't going to be able to make it to
The pine trees that you said that were not a problem are within the wetland, so that was their jurisdiction. So I don't know if they took those down or not. I mean, the one pine tree that we did see does need to be taken down. She's right. That doesn't look like it was, you know,
I mean, when,
it doesn't look like it was sick, but it does look like it would affect the house if there was a problem.
because at the last hearing, they represented that the trees they wanted to take down were marked with red X's, I think.
And there was one pine tree that wasn't marked, but they were gonna have taken down, and they wanted to have the ones that were marked taken down with it, if my memory serves
Okay.
onto that.
And how many trees are we talking about?
There's quite a few,
7, 8. Did you say total?
yeah.
Yeah.
And how tall?
They're clearly in there. Some of them were sick, some of them were small.
Okay, but these were mature trees.
Not all of them, I mean, some of them were.
The one furthest in the back was pretty big. It had a lot
Yeah.
of branches sticking out,
And
but all
they're-
the other ones were pretty
and they're, I mean,
small.
I think
smaller.
as soon as they take, you know, some of them that are, I mean, as long as they take the proper precaution, you might wanna, yeah.
Understood. Okay. And any questions? In that case, is there a motion to close the hearing?
I move to close the hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay. That was quick. So while we have a couple minutes, I just wanted to introduce the rest of the commission. This is Rachel Giraldi. She's our newest member.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you.
Mark,
Meeting you.
Hi,
Tom
nice
Fallon.
to meet you, Mark.
Ricky, and
Nice to-
Michelle.
Nice to meet
Nice
you all.
meeting you.
Thank you for having
So,
me.
thank you for
Yeah.
joining us. I hope you enjoy it.
I'm quiet just because I'm taking it all in, so.
No worries. Okay, while we have a few minutes, and there's not a lot of time, but also over the past weekend, members of the commission went to 47 and 49 Rockland Road. I know that there are members in the audience who have acute interest in that property. We were there because we hadn't been there in a while. We noticed while we were there that erosion control measures that had been installed in 2024, a lot of them had deteriorated, were no longer in place. And so based on our observations, we issued an enforcement order for that property. We received an email, I believe this afternoon, saying that the owner is in the process of restoring those erosion control measures. So, but aside from that, for those of you in the audience who are here, there's really nothing else that's going to be considered for this evening's meeting, okay? So I just want to make that clear to you in case you have other things you want to do. I know it's, we're fascinating to listen to and that you enjoy coming to these meetings, but in case you had something else to do, we just wanted to confirm that. The next matter on our agenda is a 7:05 public hearing. David Rumenoff, notice of intent to construct a single-family dwelling at 5 Commonwealth Avenue. Is there a motion to open?
A motion open.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Is anyone here on behalf of Mr. Rumenoff? Hi there.
Hi, my name's Brian Hill. I'm a professional land surveyor with Land Planning Incorporated.
Hey, Brad.
And I've worked with our senior engineer, Norman Hill, to develop these plans.
We saw Norman over the weekend.
Yeah, yep. He was telling me about it. It's a challenging lot. It's steep and there's wetlands. And so we're trying to, at our best, to meet every one of the regulations of the Conservation Commission, leaving you the 50-foot untouched. But it's a limited space to work with, so we're going with a helical pile design, which eliminates a lot of the needed excavation. So there will be a lot less excavation than a typical house, so there shouldn't be need for stockpile material. There's a retaining wall that will be built that supports the driveway, but the rest of the house is to be on helical piles.
How many piles are you going to need?
It depends on the pressure. So as they drill them, they calculate what the force can bear. So as you're drilling them, you'll know what the force is, and they might need to put them closer together or further apart.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a big engineering task that we have yet to tackle, but that's the next step.
And how deep are these piles installed?
I think they typically go 5 to 6. I'd have to check
5 to 6 feet down?
I'd have to check the documentation on that.
Okay. And you're not concerned about settlement at some point?
This is a newer technology, and the engineers are reviewing the technology, and they feel confident about it. But we haven't finished that part of the design yet.
Okay. I mean, are you aware of any other projects that have used these helical piles?
Sure. Yeah, we've seen them. Yeah.
Okay.
We've seen them on projects. So a barn here, an addition there. I don't know if I've seen many homes use it as much as this project, but it is specifically a technique for steep slopes.
Gotcha. So the plan is that you're not going to bring any fill material in, is that right?
Well, the retaining wall that supports the driveway, there is fill between the retaining wall and the road, which
Right.
levels out the driveway. So that would be the fill material that would come in.
About how many cubic yards would you need?
The cut and the fill roughly balance. There's a cut to the west of the house, to the east of the house. There's a cut for the driveway to the east of the house, and it's roughly the same area as the driveway fill. So the fill should balance it out, but we'll have to bring in some gravel. Yeah. This is a private gravel road currently.
Right, exactly. What about water and sewer?
So we have a gravity sewer system that works. We have to run it down the road a bit,
Okay.
but we're still working within the 50-foot offset. And then we have a water line that wraps around the building up through the driveway on the other side to the existing town water in the road.
I don't have any other questions. Do any of the commissioners have any questions?
So when I went there and we were looking at it, I don't think that the neighbors have a concern about the house per se. I think that what their biggest concern is, it's a very small road. And the amount of trucks and traffic going in and out, bringing everything in, And is this, I don't think I got the full understanding of what this house is going to be. Is it a single-family house or is it a multi-bedroom home?
It's a single-family home,
Okay.
and it has a handicap-accessible front entrance.
Okay.
And the front
Okay.
driveway is very flat.
Okay. It's got a kind of a steep slope to it on the road.
Oh, no, not from the front. It'll look visually, it will look very flat and like a cape,
Right.
yeah. But from the back, it
When
would
you're
look
building
different.
it.
You'd see the pylons from the back. You'd see right under the building from the back.
Right. But when you're building it,
Mm.
like bringing that in and down, getting in to get all of that equipment down the hill.
I think the concern is what sort of accommodation, when the building is being constructed, will be made for the neighbors on that street, because to Michelle's point, it is a narrow road, it's not paved, it's a private way, and so I think that is, and that, frankly, that was my concern too. On Saturday, there was a bit of a parking lot effect as we were looking at the site, so I think, is there something that the owner can do or the builder can do to accommodate traffic for the other
Sure.
residents on that street?
Sure, let me speak to that. So the retaining wall that supports the driveway would be the first thing to be built. And the house wouldn't be there, the pylons wouldn't be there. So the area for the house and pylons will be the temporary working area for construction on the wall. And you should be able to park a few vehicles in that area on that access road.
And how long will it take to install these pylons?
I believe that's a one-day operation.
Okay. And I'm trying to visualize this. Are they filled with concrete? Are we talking like,
No, they're metal screws, the big metal screws, and they just get drilled right down in, and then they report immediately the pressure of them.
Can I speak through the chair?
Please.
Do you recall Whitman Bailey Road when we went up there, the wetlands in the back, the houses they built?
Yes.
All of those decks were put in with those helical pilings because of the proximity to the wetland.
right?
So the same idea, but these are actually bigger, they're structural ones for like foundations, so
Okay.
they're growing in popularity for sure.
Small excavator too, that does it.
I was just gonna say.
Small nimble excavator, yeah.
All right.
Because I literally had to drive down to the next street to turn around to come back and wasn't on
Right,
that street
yeah.
because the few cars that were already parked there. And it's not like I have a truck, I have a small car.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? All right. There being none, is there a motion to close?
A motion to close.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. All right. Thank you. We will hopefully render a decision this evening.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Have a great evening.
The next item on our agenda is a 7:10 public hearing, East Lake Partners, on the notice of intent to construct a pad-ready site at the front of property at 50 Washington Street. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Well, hello, you're here in person.
Yes, thank you. I was gonna zoom in, but I figured I only live a town over, so it's only get the trip. But thank the commission for being patient as the project moves forward. I just want to kind of give a little bit of an update to everybody. We just received the DEP file number and their initial comments this afternoon at 5:30.
Oh, all right. That might explain why we haven't seen it.
3 months to the date. I think it came in around 5:30 this evening.
Okay.
I'll go over those comments real briefly to you. We've been reaching out to the DEP for several weeks to try to get some of their preliminary feedback and concerns. About mid last week, they came back with one of their primary concerns that is written in the comments as well, that this portion of the project was part of the overall MEPR process of 190, as well as the larger trucking company that's in the rear of the property at the end of Commerce Way. That wasn't relayed to me when I started working with Eastland Partners, so I was unaware of the limitations that have been put on the project for MIPA. Basically, nothing out of the ordinary, but they were limiting their total wetland fill for all the projects as an aggregate to 5,000 square feet, which is and was always the intention of the applicant to maintain those wetland fills. So as you recall, we left off last time with the commission discussing the cross-access between 190 and 50 to allow for the transport of the anticipated materials from one site to the other. That plan was prepared, submitted to the commission, as well as the DPW. I'll talk about their comments in a moment, and as well as the DEP. That wetland fill, I believe, sparked a little bit of a closer review by DEP, as the history of the project with the other sites did have previous wetland fills on it. And the revised plan, or the plan that we submitted for the commission for consideration that incorporated the wetland fill for the cross connection, was about 859 square feet. We originally discussed conceptually before that submission, the plan before it was formally submitted, that we were looking a little over 500 square feet of wetland fill. As I got into the project, designed it a little bit more, I made some enhancements just to make it a little bit better from my engineering perspective, which increased the wetland fill to about 800 square feet, 859 square feet. So when you look at, when we heard that news from the DEP last week, I went into research mode as far as the historic filings with the commission, as well as the DEP for the overall projects. In short summary, there were 2 wetland fills previously approved on the project. One was for 3,178 square feet, and the other was 1,175 square feet. Now, if we were to add that 800 square feet, or 859 square feet that we were proposing, we would be above that 5,000 square foot aggregate amount that is customary in the state of Massachusetts, without bringing in Army Corps and doing some extensive mitigation or studies. Having just received the comments, basically the comment that was, hey, listen, what you're proposing is over that 5,000 square feet. You'll need a notice of project change or demonstrate that we're not subject to a notice of project change with MIPA. We are able to make a modification to the site plan, which we are prepared to submit to the commission, but we didn't want to submit without having full comments from the DEP yet. That would reduce the amount of wetland fill in that cross connection down to just under 600 square feet. When you add that 600 square feet to the aggregate from previously proposed wetland impacts, we are just over 4,900 square feet. So with this modification, we could demonstrate to the DEP that we're below the 5,000 square foot threshold as an aggregate for the overall property. And we are consistent with the MIPA filing. So we're going to be able to demonstrate that with our revised submission, that the wetland replication, the impacts and the like are all consistent with the Wetlands Protection Act as well as the MIPA regulations.
The other 2 aggregate fills that previously happened, are they in the same location?
They're not in the exact same location. They're within the same very large property that was originally split up into subdivisions. So they're 500 feet away in different spots. Both of those were permitted with the Conservation Commission and were as built and closed out with the certificate of compliance for both of them. So we would plan on doing the same if this process goes forward successfully with the commission this evening. So, with that said, our intention is to, discuss any comments that the commission may have based upon that other wetland fill that we provided previously. but also, so we could get any feedback from you, so we could finalize the plans, address DEP's comments, and get things resubmitted. I know it looks like you may have a comment, but feel free to interject at any time. We still have a replication plan that it will be part of the resubmission. So we're going to be replicating it 2-to-1. So we're approximately 600 square feet of new wetland fill. The modified plan will be about 1,200 replications. So there will be a net increase overall of the overall wetlands on the site, but obviously we'll be filling the existing. We are also prepared to resubmit to the DPW. They reviewed our second submission. That was in response to their comments. That was also provided to the commission. Their remaining comments are very benign in nature. I'll run through them really quickly. They're looking for an updated alternatives analysis to go in a little bit more detail as to the BMPs that we're proposing versus what we evaluated and opted not to choose. So we're just going to provide an updated operation and maintenance plan, an alternatives analysis to provide some more documentation as to the alternatives of the stormwater designs that were considered, not just the various types of projects that were considered. Also, we're going to be looking at we're going to provide an updated construction schedule. Before, we did an estimate based upon our conversations with Eastland Partners Excavation Division as to what their capabilities and equipment are for construction. We provided an outline with our last submission regarding the 82,000 cubic yards of material. Did some calculations as far as the size of the trucks we're going to use, how many trips per hour. Did the back calc, and we're estimating about 2.5 to 3 months of work. DPW had a comment. They thought our estimated number of trips per hour per truck was high based on things. Don't know where those numbers came from, but to be conservative, we reduced it. We took a 33% reduction, but then on the number of trips per hour that are able for trucks. So basically, we just kind of redid a schedule with some different assumptions. So our initial 2.5 to 3 month timeline is going to be expended to about 3.5 to 4 months. Speaking with Eastland, they want to get it done quicker than that. Their intention is to get it to what we initially anticipated, that 2.5 to 3 month timeline. But that's something that DPW has asked us to put together. We stand by our initial 2.5 to 3 months timeline, but we gave some more conservative assumptions based upon DPW feedback. And we also added an additional construction entrance for on the north side of Commerce Way, which is the side street that kind of separates 50 Washington and 190 Washington. So we have construction entrances on both sides of that street, so when you're coming on to or off either direction are both protected with a construction entrance to scrape the tires of those construction vehicles. And we're also going to provide and responded to notification to some of the businesses to let them know in a timely manner that we're going to be using that road for construction, to be aware. And we'll also have some traffic controllers out there as well to, yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
so West Tech Drive, will there be eventually, like you said, you're just gotten into the traffic. I know there's a lot of businesses up there. There's Eversource, they have responded, right? Am I in the wrong
No,
address?
this is Commerce Way, which is
So
a...
50 Washington is across, correct? From West Tech, or no?
From West Tech, yes.
Yes, okay.
So we are not proposing, what we're proposing is to have this cross connection between the two properties.
Okay.
To stay on the
Fine.
north side of
Okay.
Route 20. Instead
So
of coming
not
out
coming-
onto Route 20,
Understood.
drive around the wetlands, we want to fill that 800 square feet.
Understood, okay.
So
Thank you.
it's,
Sorry, I didn't have a copy of that, appreciate it.
yep.
Where my disconnect was.
So other than that, there was a note added to the plan. So they've also requested, which is very minor. We're prepared to resubmit to the DPW as well, and obviously we'll copy you with the resubmission there. We were holding off. DPW responded to us in a very timely manner, but we were holding off so I don't have too many plans out there floating around and getting new comments in 3 days later and having to revise things. So now that we do have all of the DEP comments, well, at least their first set, we took a look at that, addressing that, so we're prepared to respond formally, before the week's end to DEP, resubmit to the commission as well. We left off everything else with our resubmission. Any comments from the DPW, they were addressed satisfactorily. We responded to enhancing swales and diversion techniques for the DOT drainage system that kind of discharges directly adjacent to the mobile home community. So with some of the concerns that were there about trees downed and things of that nature, reestablishing or establishing a nice swale along that area will collect flow, and it'll also take the opportunity where we have to establish this, so any trees that are there would be removed down or made so they're safe.
Has that drainage system been inspected recently, to your knowledge?
To our system, the DOT drainage system,
DOT drainage system?
not by the DOT. No, they have not.
Okay. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
What's the condition?
It's in very poor shape.
And could that be contributing to the flooding that the individuals in the trailer park were complaining about?
Yes, it's in poor shape. The individual, they have a large culvert that's coming out of the air. When I mean, if you stand in the trailer park and look at the culvert, it's there. 6 feet above the ground where it comes. So it's a consistent erosion issue. I believe that it's actually located on the mobile park's land, so we can't do anything with that. But what we are doing is those similar situations that are on our site, we're going to bring fill up to the bottom, establish erosion controls and things of that nature to prevent scour and the like.
To your knowledge, is DOT aware of the condition of that culvert?
I do not know if they are aware. I know they are aware of conditions along our property and down along that entrance where the wetland fill is being proposed. That was all part of a review previously for the roadway widening and things of that nature. So DOT's been working with us on this project for years now, and they haven't brought up any major concerns or issues with the drainage system that's currently being proposed, or to remain in place.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you correctly, I guess your position is that to the extent that the trailer park is affected by flooding or by extra wet,
Yeah.
it's because of a problem with the culvert that's controlled by DOT.
Controlled by DOT. There's also DOT culverts that discharge onto our property. So we're going to enhance and try to make the existing condition for the mobile home park better by controlling that water. Right now, the part that's coming on is just puddle, meanders, trees down, puddles up, it goes this way. What we're going to do is establish a channel. So that flow gets collected and conveyed.
Is that going to be on the next set?
That's on this set of plans right here. So that's currently proposed with the first revision as part of the, it was on the initial set of plans, but they were enhanced based upon some comments that we received from the commission, as well as the DPW regarding, scour velocities and things of that nature. So we kind of implemented these measures to, address all those comments that come forward since the inception of the project.
Am I remembering correctly? Is that land that is Scourers having a problem? Was that part of the land that Eastland Park or that was given to the DOT? Wasn't there a parcel of land that was given to the state or somebody?
There was some land that's way in the back that I believe that was part of a open space dedication. And I don't believe it was on this parcel. I think it was part of the overall development. Those lands that I think you're speaking about are further back, kind of towards the wooded area of
It
Ross.
doesn't impact any of this?
It doesn't
Okay.
impact any of that. If it's proximity, it's on the other side of the river, or the other side of the wetland system.
All right. I do have a few questions. So, again, on the new plan, it probably says this, but it was like a 3-to-1 ratio before, when it was 859.
No, I believe it was still a 2-to-1.
It's still going to be a 2-to-1?
Yeah, it was 2-to-1 before, and it'd still be 2-to-1.
Okay, all right. All right. And that isn't going to impact the mobile home?
No,
below?
that is on the other side. We are replacing, or we're mitigating the replication area within proximity of where we're filling, which is on the opposite side of 50 Washington and then the mobile park.
And again, my only concern is, we already, it's doing like putting a pad down, and having somebody else come in, we already did something like this before. They're gonna have to come in with their own set, later on.
Their own
with
set with the
right.
modified. I made some reasonable engineering assumptions with my drainage designs and things
Right.
of that nature. So hopefully, when the future comes, it's easier for the engineer and the commission to follow the tracks that have been laid. Meaning, if they all of a sudden said, well, engineering, you designed for 5 acres of impervious, I want 15. Well, that's a big change that has to be fully vetted. But obviously, any proposed modification beyond what's on this plan needs to come to the commission for a full notice of intent. DPW has also mentioned that a new land disturbance permit would be required in addition to the process we've just went through for a formal site plan review, as it relates to the wetlands.
To your knowledge, does Eastland have a buyer for this parcel?
No, to my knowledge, they do not. They've had very interested parties, and the ones that are very interested, we worked out concepts with and the like. However, it was workable for them, but they couldn't envision the property due to the topography. They couldn't envision the amount of fill that's needed. And fortunately for Eastland, they do have excess fill from the construction in the way back that they put on 190, and 190 will be lowered down to move that over here.
Okay.
So,
Okay, any other questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? And if you do, state your name and your address, please.
Hi, Barbara Pulaski on Woodbrook Acres, Eastlands.
Okay.
I live along that area that he's talking about, that culvert, that they're gonna be doing finally some reconstruction, hopefully taking out a lot of those trees. And I know they have to resubmit more plans, any type of timeline.
That's a great question. When do you think you're going to be ready to come back to see us?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
The plans will be in your office before close of business
So August
Friday.
14th?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, the plans are prepared, the PDFs are made, everything's done with anticipation that we were going to get a DEP comment, whether it's today or next week when I was on vacation, things were set up.
That's usually when they come, when you're on vacation.
Exactly, so I kind of made it a point where I didn't want to come back on Monday and so I did that this week. So the plans are prepared. There's this narrative cover letter that I'll put together in the morning, but I'll submit, work with Tom, whatever you guys need for hard copies and things of that nature. I'll get those to you. In addition to the response to the DPW.
Okay, very good. Any other comments? Yes, please.
Again, Barbara Pulaski, will there be some type of notice sent to the park, letting us know when this is all gonna start happening,
Well, I think,
as in butter?
well, I think, as I understand it, we'll take this up at our next hearing, and we'll have the revised plans at the next hearing. So, I mean, we haven't approved anything, as you know.
Right.
And so what we'll do is once we get a final plan, we'll review it. If we have any questions, we'll certainly ask the applicant, if there are any issues that we have. DEP will also be getting the revised plans, and I'm sure that now that they've been brought up to speed, if they have any comments, they will offer comments, and they're pretty good. I mean, if they take issue with something, or if they see a potential problem, they are not shy about expressing their opinion. So I think we'll see that, and I can't guarantee. I don't have a crystal ball. My 8-ball hasn't been working well that lately, but we might be able to close it at the next hearing. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Judy Riani Damas from Windbrook Acres also.
Okay.
I'm one of the ones that has water issues.
All right.
And I was just wondering, during this 3 or 4 months that they're going to be working on it, are they going to do something about the water coming off because it could get worse while they're working on it? Is that something that's going to be done before you fill and take the trees down, or?
Well, ma'am, not to speak for him, but it sounds like this is really an issue involving DOT. If the culvert has deteriorated and DOT owns the culvert, it seems to me that DOT needs to take care of it. And I can't believe and I know they've been working on this project. I think we've been having hearings on this for probably, the last 2 years?
More than that.
Or more than that.
Yeah.
And so I have to believe that DOT is aware of the condition of that culvert. If they're not, I think it's not a difficult matter to let them know that they need to do something about it. Now, whether they will is another matter entirely.
And
He just talked about taking trees down.
But you can address that.
okay, yeah. Regarding taking trees down, generally that's going to be the first step of the project.
Okay.
They're going to establish their erosion controls, which will be along your property line to the east, and those erosion controls will be set. So there are no intended notices for work that would be sent out to the neighbors unless the commission finds it appropriate to do so. But I think you'll see the guys cutting the trees down and putting the silt fence up, and that's going to be, hey, it's going to start working pretty soon. Eastland, once they get that rolling, they're right behind it with their construction equipment. As far as that DOT culvert, I just wanted to talk. Now, the applicant's intent is to make the situation better, address these deficiencies with the DOT culvert. As I mentioned, the 2 or 3 culverts that are directly discharging onto our property we're handling with filling up the slope, providing erosion control. However, the DOT, that one of the major culverts that's causing majority of the problems is located on the trailer communities, the mobile home communities property.
Right.
Now, it doesn't say that we aren't willing to fix this, but we can't. We're in the middle of, the applicant's in the middle of litigation saying, that's my property, that's your property, adverse possession. So there's no way we could propose any type of improvements right there where that particular area is under scrutiny, in the courts.
Until the litigation is resolved.
Into the litigations, because obviously all that water comes down onto our property and we gotta kind of control it anyway, so it just behooves us to make it even better. But unfortunately, we're doing what we can within the limits that we can do. It doesn't mean that we're not, at the end of the day, try to make everything better for everybody, but it just cannot be proposed at this point.
Understood. Ms. Goodrich, any comments?
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
I have my pen, but not my pad of paper, so I might forget a couple of the questions. The first one is procedurally. So what is it exactly that this commission is approving? Is it, it's not the entire pad site ready, is it? It's working within the wetlands and the 82,000?
So what, excuse me, what triggered jurisdiction was the fact that this project is within wetlands. And so it comes within our jurisdiction not only through the State Wetlands Protection Act, but also through our own bylaw. And so what the applicant has done is that they've submitted a plan. They're proposing to fill in some wetlands, but they're also proposing to replicate those wetlands on a 2-to-1 basis elsewhere on the project in order to basically provide a pad-ready site. And so, basically in order to do that, they submit their plans, obviously, engineering calculations, drainage calculations. The wetland's been delineated, and then we've been out there And as long as the plan meets our criteria, then we will approve the plan. So that, in a nutshell, that's what we do. I mean, I take your point about the water issues. It sounds like that's an issue that, and without knowing the details of the litigation that's going on, I don't know what's going on with that. And frankly, it's not really relevant to this sort of discussion or proceeding. I think your beef is probably more with DOT than with the applicant. That's just my observation based on the hearings we've had in this matter. And I don't know if you make any headway with DOT on that. Obviously, it's an issue that needs to be resolved. It's been a problem that you've had for, I think, quite a long time. And so in a nutshell, that's what we would do. Okay?
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So the water isn't my only concern.
All right.
And so going back to what because I understand they're going to submit some revised plans. It was my understanding at the last meeting that they were going to use the 190 property, create some type of temporary gravel road, shall we say, through the easement of National Grid onto the 50 property.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
And then I just heard something about going around the back, so I just want to understand that better. I still have serious concerns about a gravel road with these, moving 82,000 cubic yards of fill over a gravel road.
Well, I think the idea is that after the work is completed, that gravel road it's not going to be permanent, correct?
No, it will not be permanent. When the gravel road is complete, Eastland Partners intended to move forward with a roadway widening that will add a right turn lane into Commerce Lane. So once that gravel road
50.
from, as you're going from east to west, you pass Route 50. In front of Route 50 will start a right turn lane.
From that spot?
So,
Yes. So there'll be a right turn lane in there, which has been reviewed and approved by the commission a couple years ago.
Okay.
DOT's just recently approved that as well. So they're aware of this. We talked to them about our little amendments, and they're on board with that. Unfortunately, they wouldn't entertain a modified permit until we have an approved plan. That's just the protocol for DOT. So at the end of the day, that gravel road is going to be filled in when the right lane comes. The slope's going to come down and fill that gravel road in. So there will be basically no road. There'll be a slope leading down to the wetland with no 12-foot wide gravel road.
so my concern is the fact that it is a gravel road, moving that much, that much fill
Right.
across that way. I mean,
What's your concern?
my concern is if there's anything to happen. I watch, and again, I'm on the far end of the other side, so the water, this isn't affecting me at all, but I care about the safety of everyone around me. And I've seen fire, I've seen ambulances trying to get through. Mass DOT is putting in a crosswalk right in front of Price Chopper because there have been deaths there. My concern is that the safest way to do it? And if anything happens and that road shuts down, then we're stuck between, that area and hundreds of seniors who would have no access to emergency care.
I got lost.
I guess I'm lost too. I mean, my understanding is that the gravel road is not going to affect your trailer park. It's going to connect 190 to 50. So I guess I'm not...
I agree. I agree with you 100%. It's also going to be a budding Route 20. That's what it is. The gravel road is a budding Route 20.
Understood.
If there's an accident,
Well, ma'am,
with this,
it's hard to kind of predict the future. I would presume that the gravel road will be,
About 14 feet below the road elevation,
it's going to be below 20. It's going to be, how wide is it going to be?
12 feet.
12 feet, compacted, right?
Yes.
So I mean, and again, anything can happen. You're absolutely right.
absolutely.
But I think I can't conceive of a scenario where it would jeopardize egress or entry into the trailer park. I mean, I'm just saying to you, I can't see that. Is it a possibility? I think it may be a possibility, but I think it's a remote possibility.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Sure.
I don't foresee it being a concern blocking traffic to and from, the mobile home community. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. No, this has been contemplated quite a bit with the construction crew of Eastland Partners, and we're finding that this is the most practical and safe way to, implement this type of activity. If we weren't able to use this cross-access, the applicant's going to be forced to use smaller construction equipment that has to go out onto Route 20, that would have to drive into the Route 50 site, which would
It would
double,
the length of the project.
well, I would say double the trips.
Yes.
Probably quadruple the timeline.
Gotcha.
Because you're not going to be able to have the efficiency, you're going to have traffic mitigations, police details and the like. This way, we stay off of Route 20 DOT.
Gotcha. Any other questions from the audience? Yes, sir. And
Yes.
name and
Dan
address,
Birds.
please.
I live in Windbrook Acres.
Okay.
I'm right on the front line where all the water is. I showed the pictures
Yes, sir.
last time. Now, they said they're gonna be cutting the trees down. Are they gonna go right up to the road? Where they're gonna cut the trees down? I hope they are, because 2 of them already fell on my home. And there's 2 more leaning and a dead one behind them.
That's a great question. Do you have a tree cutting plan?
We do not have a tree cutting plan. We have a limit of work plan that establishes the limit of work. So any trees within that limit of work would be removal of vegetation.
Okay.
Which does show it along the eastern property line, very close to the property where the establishment of the swale is. So anything from that line, which you just see, can't say right up to the street because we're giving it a little bit of leeway because of because of the lawsuits.
Okay.
Let me get a nice little plan.
Well, that
Drainage and drainage, yeah.
That raises another question. Can you do the scope of work that you want to while the litigation is pending, where there's a dispute over a strip of land that both are claiming is owned by each party?
Yes, the limits of what we're proposing are when I say 10 feet, 15 feet outside of the land that was disturbed by the mobile homes.
Okay.
So basically, I took, hey, if you haven't cleared it, you haven't mowed it, you haven't maintained it, you're not living on it, it's not a road, there's no claim to it. So we gave them a reasonable buffer to propose our development, even though that we know that other area, we could go right up even past the edge of pavement, which we're not doing. So we're giving them an appropriate buffer to allow for a reasonable mitigation or,
I don't know if they answer your question, sir.
No, I mean, I'd like them to cut them down right to the road, because that's where all the water is. And that's the issue, the trees are all falling, because there's no land holding the roots and the trees in.
Yeah, it's still their land, even though we're in litigation.
I'm not going to touch the lawsuit.
Right, so basically, based on the plan, I haven't scaled it, there's about a 10-foot to 15-foot undisturbed buffer to the edge for that grace period.
All right. Any other questions from the audience? So this matter is going to be continued to our next meeting, which is going to be on August 13th. Do we have anything on at 7 p.m. that night?
We do not.
Okay. So is there a motion to continue the public hearing for 50 Washington Street to August 13th at 7 p.m.?
I motion to continue 50 Washington Street to August 13th at 7 p.m.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. All right?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I know it's kind of long, but
That's all right.
it's a long update.
Kind of used to it.
I'll get the DEP, I know they automatically send me the
Yeah.
DEP file number, but
Yeah,
that's,
there's all
at
that
least they
with
got it done, knock on wood.
And my response,
This is who's left, who's filed and the dates, and they are about 2 months behind, so I'm just glad you got your number, you know, 'cause I don't want to hold anything up, believe me. I want to get,
yeah, I know it's not you. It's
no, but it's been frustrating for a lot of people because you don't have a number, it's like,
now we have to start looking at comments 2 months later. But that's okay. We're good. Thank you.
All right,
My
thank you,
scribble
everyone.
notes, I did that in the back of a van.
It's all
Sorry.
good. I lost my contacts
Yeah.
now. I don't.
Rachel, I'm gonna give you
So
a
you
full
get that
set of
going
his
for
notice
you.
of intent, because I was only expecting about 10 minutes of comments tonight. I didn't think it was gonna be this intricate. That's, so,
Yeah.
yeah, for the next meeting.
All right, okay.
Here's Glenn.
Is this Giovanni?
The next matter on our agenda is 7:15 public hearing. Giovanni Nardella, a notice of intent to build an addition to a single-family home and remove an existing garage at 5 Friedel Street. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, vote. Mr. Travasky, good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Thank you for
Mr. Garland
waiting.
and Commission.
Thank you for
Glenn
waiting.
Kowalski from EBT Environmental.
I hope you found the discussion scintillating.
It was a great discussion.
Right.
Did you
Really
really
good. I enjoyed this one. The one from Sutton just before it, and all my discussions.
Okay. All right.
We, at your convenience, sir.
Please go ahead.
Thank you. To make sure that the commission has a set of plans, everybody has a set, is a full size if you want. I have a couple of, or at least it might be easy to look at or something.
These are copies I gave to the commission members tonight, the most updated one, and that's something
Yeah.
proud of.
Thank you again, thank you, Mr. Fallon. So we're doing something also with this house, is to look at when the structure was constructed, because we believe it, and the neighbors might have it if they're here, might possibly go back late 1800s, but it's pretty old. There's some, the northern red oaks behind the existing structure are 4.5, 5 feet in diameter. And there's some old farm dump, it appears to be, over by wetland flags, 14A to 20A. An old cement mixer and the other material that was dumped, so years ago when people used wetlands to throw their material.
Garbage.
Yeah, well, that's what we have over there.
Yeah.
I might ask also that there was some discussion at the last hearing that there might have been a site inspection, and then today Mr. Fallon and I talked, and maybe the commission didn't look at it yet.
I mean, I've been out there. I
Yeah.
can't speak for anyone else.
That was for
I
the,
haven't.
through the chair, that was for the RDA.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I looked at the property, I walked around it, I know I think Megan and I looked at it at the same time. And she's not here tonight for it, but, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a really tight site.
Right. And so DEP did have comments. I find it interesting that Rebecca Gendreau did not send it to my office, which is the first time I'm seeing DEP not sending it to the representative, but it might be because, well,
Well, apparently
because we beat her up a
but
little
they
bit last
apparently
time.
are behind in reviewing applications too.
Yes, quite behind. But so here we are.
Yep.
So we have the existing structure approximately 20 feet wide. We have that length, I believe we're 53.9. There's a garage in the back falling in. We're proposing to, if we read the red highlights, I'm going to go from the back of the garage, existing garage, where this note is in the brook or next to it,
Right.
to be removed is 583 square feet. Disturbed area shall be loomed and seeded. It's presently impervious. Obviously, we're improving the riverfront area because it's now called degraded, and it won't be degraded once we put loam in, because that's a degraded riverfront areas that are lacking loam. Gravel pits, buildings, asphalt, degraded. And then there's altered riverfront area. And it's interesting, and I'll go through each comment, if you don't mind, that DEP brought up. And so we're in this riverfront area. There was a comment about that 1058-4 might not have been covered. I believe my son, we did cover it. There's no other place to put the proposed structure but on the east side of this house, because if we put it behind it, we'd be in wetlands and riverfront even more. We're in that existing landscaped area. Yes, it's starting to grow in. There's some azaleas that were planted out there, some rhododendrons, part of that lawn that had been mowed sometime recently enough that it's not all grown in. But that is where the proposed structure is. It's the furthest place away from the riverfront area we can flag.
How far away from the riverfront are you? Is the new construction proposed? It's more than 25 feet, right?
Oh, more than 25 feet, sure.
Okay.
I'm looking for my scale ruler. I just had it the last hearing, but. So the scale on this, let's see, there's 1 inch goes 10, here we go. I'll tell you what we are. We might say that under the revision of 12-2002, when the wetland regulation for riverfront was revised, it did include low gradient streams. And as you might recall, when we used the Auburn High School, National Honor Society and other people, the Fuller people, we cleaned this river out all the way down to probably like 500 or 600 feet down gradient. That was a project I designed, and we brought up quite a few people in. So this is a very low gradient stream, and the original surveyors had shown just a bank of the brook as the riverfront, but it isn't. When you have a low gradient stream that is thick organic and herbaceous in nature, the riverfront, and with the beavers downstream, floods into this area, and that's why the riverfront is not just following the river. Under that 12-2002 revision, it extends into. That's why you're seeing these flags going, say, 14, 13, 15, all the way into this herbaceous, thick. There are some bushes out there, but it's still dominated as far as, because we do Sudbury River, we do other low gradient. We just did 7 Mile in Spencer for bond, sand, and gravel. That's why I call this riverfront area out here, because of the compliance of 12-2002. And then we have the BVW line running along it. Again, you'll see that old dump area. I did send, I believe, one picture. There's a nice picture of a Sears and Roebuck cement mixer out there, but the area generally is a couple feet to 3 feet above the elevation of the existing wetland. I see that he's got 489, but I've walked on it. It might be a foot higher than that. It is a knob there, and that is growing with Japanese knotweed. When we say restore, we have an access corridor in. We move all of that down to the original O horizon, OA, O organic, A mineral, and then seed it and plant it. We propose doing that at 7-foot spacing, as the note up in the top of the plan reads. We plan on, again, removing the building structure here, and DEP thought that we should be planting some of this. We aren't asking to close tonight because DEP hasn't seen the comments, because I only received this recently and I just got back from vacation myself. So we are going to we're going to plant at least half of what is to the rear, say that 493 on the garage. We do plan on planting that, and to give you a restored area there. Restore, not just restore by topsoil, but restore by also planting. And same thing over here as we laid out. We went to the existing grades, and we have now, we did test holes, a test pit. We are above the water table, 2 feet above it. We have a Coltech to take the roof runoff and infiltrate that into the ground. And going back to DEP's comments, all of this site was altered. Yes, it was all altered before '96. These are all old structures, asphalt. You've been out there.
Right.
This is August of '96 because of riverfront alteration. If we weren't pre-existing, then we would have another difficulty with putting something new out there in this close proximity. Leave black cherry. In the back of the structure, if you've been down there, there's Oriental Bittersweet directly in the back corner of that garage. We plan on removing that as much as possible, root structure, because that's what we just did in Concord for the town of Concord, 4 acres. And we do that, but Oriental Bittersweet, with removal, we did it at Red Roof Inn, also on Route 9 in Framingham, which is none of it came back. But in order to remove it, but we're not going to plant it immediately, because normally 2 growing seasons, at least to track the root system, we can go after a lot of the root, but you're not going to get it all. You might leave behind 20% of those roots. So if we planted it right away, we're going to have Oriental Bittersweet growing right back up through what we just restored. That won't grow back where the building is because it's not there, but anything to the rear of that building, that's where we're going to do an exotic invasive removal. That's why if you needed to see it again, fine, we would. Other areas that where Rebecca Gendreau of DEP also mentioned that it looks like it's a successional forest coming in on this back right corner of the existing structure in these areas. Well, here's a new plant for you, sweet mock orange. Anybody heard of it?
No.
Out of Turkey. So I had to call Sarasota today to actually have a landscape architect as part of Arello Corp down there, because I sent them the pictures. I went back there this morning just to cover this point. I've seen it on construction site, on other sites, on old buildings. It was an old-time planted, a lot of white flowers on it earlier this spring. And then it has a persistent, where the flower drops off, it's got a berry in there with a consistent, I'll send pictures, the next time I come in, I'm gonna have pictures of it.
So the birds must love it.
Huh? The birds do love it, and that's what helps to spread it. But, so, well, you can look that up again, sweet mock orange. And beyond that, back there, we've got porcelain berry, if you're familiar with porcelain berry. Well, if you go to the dam at Quabbin, you're going to find it all over the place, because we had a workshop out there probably 10 years, 15 years ago, and there's the porcelain berry. You find it here and there. It has a grape-looking leaf, but it's an exotic invasive, and that is growing all back there. Beyond those two, we have obviously Oriental Bittersweet, which I mentioned, multiflora rose, and some people might not consider Northern Catalpa exotic, but I have it in Easton, where it's overtaking a wetland with 40 plants in it next to Brockton, that Easton off of 495. So that is back there, and it's growing in a large tree. It has the large white flowers, the whole thing in the spring. But that comes from northern Arkansas, that species. So it's also native to the United States, but then planted all over the place. And now it's growing in seed. It's on my property. It seeds out. So any seedlings of that will remove. The black cherries that are back there, we're going to leave intact to the rear. We're not going to take out that big Northern Catalpa unless somebody says something about it. The multiflora rose will come out. We'll lay out a plan on this, and we'll show photos, and if there was another inspection, then we'd show you all this material.
Okay.
Back to Rebecca. Plantings, yes. We're going to show that our new alteration is less than 5,000 square feet, and we'll give you a total square footage of the total riverfront area on the property, if my son didn't already put that in the plan, which we will. Topsoil.
Is the addition being...
Through the chairman, I'm sorry, sir.
Is the addition being smaller? Is that what you're saying? 500 square feet smaller?
5,000 square feet.
Okay.
It's a threshold, 10% or 5,000 square feet. She brings it up under paragraph. Where are you, Rebecca? There it is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth paragraph up from the bottom of her comment sheet, if you haven't seen it. I'm not sure if Tom...
I don't have copies of it because I received this and I put it in the file, but I didn't realize there was a whole page and a half.
Yeah, on the other side. We'll make sure, all the commissions should have the comment sheet, because it is important. We're going to answer every question she has on it, do some modification to the plan, and come back to you.
Okay.
I believe we're 90% there, 85 or 90% with this plan, but we will want to answer DEP, because we wouldn't want them to appeal us for any reason.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. So in that case, is there a motion to continue the public hearing? Are you done, Glenn?
There might be some, I'm not sure.
She left.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's even better. Kidding.
I did have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
What is this proposed access for restoration and dumping ground for?
Thank you. Through the chairman, I can tell you that because this is a dump ground, so abandoned dumping grounds under the riverfront regulation, that's called an abandoned dumping ground. If we go out there and look at it, it is plastic bottle. It's old material that when the farmer or this person over the years, you didn't go to the dump. You went to your backyard and you dumped, because we've been doing this since '79, in these old wetland, my company since '86, and you find them on some of these old sites.
1879?
That's, now you know me. Yeah, exactly. So, just came back from Sardinia last week. That's a matter of fact. So yes, we plan on moving in there with a mini excavator with a truck and actually taking it off the site, restoring that abandoned dumping ground. So we needed an access way to get in there. This is an existing field. You can see a tree line or a brush line. This is Japanese knotweed. We're going to take it out, and Japanese knotweed does not go into the water table with its bottom root. It can go 6 feet down. with growth. And we did that at Diamond Chevrolet when we had one big plant, and we kept digging. Okay, yeah, it's still a tape room. And then finally we got to the bottom, and actually DOT has a spec to go at least 6 feet down. But once it hits the water table, it doesn't go below it. So we're only looking at getting down to the water table. We should see no more knotweed there. Remove it all in a dumpster, gone, and into a dumping location, burn location. Most of the stuff goes. So that's going to be restored and planted. We have that. Back here will be restored and planted. We're going to give you a new limit of work, as Rebecca wanted, to show you that we're not going to take up all the lawn that was out there before, but we're going to tighten it up. And that's what was asked for. Give us a limit of, so once we take material out, we can give you a new limit of work, and everything beyond that will be riverfront area. Thank you.
Any other questions?
That garage that's there, was that a concrete?
Concrete floor.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yup, it's a 2 bays in there.
Yeah.
The roof is caving in, but it's still impervious because it's
all gonna
concrete
be gone,
floor.
right?
Gone with the top, to the chair, gone with the topsoil put back in, and then a certain portion to the rear will be replanted after we take out the exotic invasive oriental bittersweet, hugging the back of this area.
Okay.
And again, it's so old that the stuff in there, that oriental, is a big vine at this point. So we'll grab onto it normally with minis, and we'll pull it out, and then we go after the root systems. And I'm looking that this might take, if we do it this year, we can see some sprouts come back. We go for the most of it. I'm an exotic invasive plant removal specialist, show you on that. No, I am. But, because we do a lot of it. And then we'll plant it. And we're gonna give you a time frame on that. Normally, again, remove it, let's see what you didn't get, let it grow, remove it again, then plant the native to give you back that back area. This is let me say that this is a spec. These people have just got me into Box Pro. They buy, restore these houses. I've got another one for other people that do that, and then they'll be selling it off. But of course, your conditions will be clear, and I don't want to say much more. Mr. Garland, anything, I'm here to answer any questions.
Nope. I think you were, as usual, Glenn, you were very thorough in your presentation. So, is there a motion to continue the public hearing to August 13th at 7:05 p.m.?
I move to,
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what I just said?
what you just said.
7:05. 05.
05. Thank you again for
And
that.
is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Glenn, thank you
Through the
very much.
chair, when would we be considering doing a site visit so Glenn can be there?
It'd be fun to show you.
I don't know if I can
Can't wait.
go this, actually, I don't know. I think I'm gonna be tied, maybe Saturday, maybe this Saturday.
This Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not here.
I figured.
Yeah, no.
Well, Glenn, we'll figure something out.
If you do, you can contact me, and I'll at least give me a day or
Yeah, I
so.
would
Yeah.
Either this Saturday or the following Saturday. As
I'll
soon as I
definitely the
know.
next Saturday, I'll make sure to put a tentative on that.
Okay, yes.
I can make the next one. Not this one.
Next Saturday, we'll make sure.
That'd be the second?
No,
Thank you,
actually,
sir.
this Saturday coming.
This Saturday?
My husband used to live down there, so I'm curious.
Friedel, down in that area?
Hall, yeah, right behind
Hallstrom
Town
I think
Fair
we should
Tire.
start doing it on
Yeah,
Thursday
right-
nights.
Yeah, I haven't been
Go
there.
to dinner,
That'll be so much easier.
wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Until
I think
winter
that
time
we should
is
start doing it like Thursday nights or something.
Yeah, in a bar first.
Glenn, well, I got you here.
Yes, sir.
I snapped some pictures. So that's the tree, what I think is a tree of heaven.
It does look like it.
But hold on, this will tell you right here.
My kids were little playing baseball.
Oh, no. You
I
can
took this house.
That's in the hickory family. That's a bitter one.
Maybe we
Really?
should pick it up a little.
Because it is, when I cut this pot open, it smelled like, ugh. it was-
Lemony should smell.
Really?
If you rub the outside of that ball,
All right.
Uh-huh.
rub it, it'll smell like lemon.
Really?
It's in
So what's it called, actually?
hickory.
Nice. I still have a gavel.
Butternut?
Butternut,
It's
big,
called
cool. No, I just don't, I can just tell you it grew like that big in 2 years.
No.
Gotta move on.
I
That's
just,
not like that, because the other one has a flower. It doesn't
Okay,
have a nut.
no, good to know.
all right.
Thank you again, I'm
Thank you,
sorry.
Glenn.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right.
We appreciate
We'll
you.
let you know when that party is at this house.
Yeah. Give me a wait heads up, because I want to be there.
I will.
I'm going to leave a set of plans for...
Excellent.
Right?
Yep, the big set, yep. I printed out a bunch of the small ones there.
Okay, and you, well, and you have another set over there for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that goes with the set.
All right.
Okay.
Good evening.
Then have a good one.
Appreciate it. All right. So, in other business,
We have some.
we do have some.
Yes, sir.
We issued an enforcement order for 47 and 49 Rockland Road.
I'd like to ratify that now through the chair.
Oh, yes, please. So is there a motion to ratify the enforcement order that was issued for 47 and 49 Rockland Road?
I move to ratify the enforcement order of 4749 Rockland Road.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Wait.
Opposed to vote. So Rachel, this is a site that has been in our crosshairs, not crosshairs, that's not fair, but has been, I guess, on our agenda off and on for a year and a half now, maybe a little bit longer. It seems longer.
Yeah, it's
And so it's an ongoing project. With respect to 5 Willow Street, I actually think Mr. Jazz was here and I think he left.
He came in earlier today, so I received this last week.
Right.
And I explained, not from Mr. Jazz, but from this guy here, Mr. Waterman from WDA Design.
Yep.
So I explained to him, yep, okay, I'll bring it to the meeting, go do a site visit. So Mr. Jazz came in today and said, oh, did you guys already go out and do the site visit? And I said, no, it doesn't work like that. We look at it, they'll go out this Saturday or next, and by the next meeting, they will issue.
Just print your name and
That's not how people do that. They're like, oh yeah, okay, it's on the hearing. Did you guys already go and do your decision yet?
Yeah, no. Doesn't work that way. So, but we should try to get out there, obviously, before our next meeting on August 13th. With respect to decisions, for 276 Prospect Street, is there a motion?
I move to do a negative determination on that.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Can you just say
Yeah, you guys, here you go. There's that one. Pass it on, please.
And then for 5 Commonwealth Avenue, is there a motion?
Would it be the same contents of negative?
No, this is actually one of
That's
the
an
conditions, so
ROI.
you're gonna need your sheet.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be a big one.
Come on, you can get on
It's
that
gonna be a
easy.
big one, too.
Well, Rick, the last time Ricky did it, he was under duress, you know?
Yeah, he did good, though.
Well, he...
I've got the whole thing right here, Rick, if you wanna circle them, because that goes in as part of the order of conditions if you want.
Well, he didn't volunteer to do this, so I'm waiting for someone to make a motion for
you go.
notice of intent for 5 Commonwealth Avenue. So come on, I need someone to step up to the plate here. It's the bob of the night.
I make a motion to issue a standard order of conditions plus special conditions for, where did it go?
5 Commonwealth.
5 Commonwealth Avenue.
Okay? Have at it, my friend.
And
Yeah, because I'm on here. So it's in there.
are there any recommendations from the team?
Yeah. I would say,
Nicely done. So we turn that back on the rest of you guys?
Absolutely.
Ooh, I signed too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
sorry.
did. Absolutely. That's okay.
actually, yeah, before you do that, hold up for one. Oh, no, it's not this one, not this one, not this
Okay,
one.
there's been a motion to issue standard
Yeah.
conditions, plus, are there any special conditions that we want to add to our order of conditions? You've done these, you've done these.
These are
Michelle.
I know.
order of conditions, special
That house, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Still, yeah.
Yep.
so I'd say what?
That's the bylaw.
Yeah, definitely one.
That's a wetland.
Okay, 1,
Yeah, this is just something for the
Two.
commission,
Okay.
you know, Auburn, for
For the
us.
committee.
Yeah,
Yep.
for the commission, yep.
3,
These are
Two,
special
four.
conditions on
Okay.
top of.
There's no replication.
conditions.
There's no replication.
What did I see when they,
Because they're not actually
Like-
doing it.
That's right.
Ones I have highlighted.
5.
Asterisk.
5 would be a
probably
good one.
We did on another project.
okay,
So, yeah, this is usually above and beyond the normal.
okay.
And sediment control measures must be
I'm
placed
s-
between the
I've been on the
replicated
commission now for a year.
There's no
Six.
replication, it would be 5.
I haven't done this yet. I see
Okay.
how they do it.
They're not
Yes.
replicating.
I keep thinking that they have to.
No,
though,
no, they're
because
not.
of-
They are building some
That's
distance
that
away
wall.
from the wetland area.
9.
9's
No.
good. How about 8?
For me, I don't understand it.
All right. It just means that your conditions is subject to every condition stated therein, so they have to comply with the whole thing. If they violate any of the conditions, then they are subject to an enforcement action.
8.
Okay, good. How about on the next page, how about 11? Okay, is that good? So I think standard order plus, if I'm hearing the commission correctly, standard order plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, and 11. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay.
It's easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you sign that as well. Pass this around, please.
And then finally, the last thing I think we have to consider are the meeting minutes for July 9th.
We should have on all of them, too.
You want to add 17?
Can we add 17?
We can if someone files it, makes a motion to add 17.
Can I make a motion to add 17?
Okay.
If I,
All right, so Michelle wants to add 17 to the standard order plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, and 11. Is there a second to Michelle's motion to amend?
I second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote. Okay. So, meeting minutes from last meeting.
Should
She didn't get a complete
Oh.
package, she
Oh,
just
okay.
got what I had today.
And she couldn't
Okay,
vote
so-
on it anyway.
Right.
Right, thank you.
That's all we're just signing things.
Yes,
Can
thank
you
you.
just sign that?
Sure.
Mark?
Yep. I have a pen next to me. Thought I did. 5-year-old probably stole it. Thank you. Yep, go. Pass that back.
I've reviewed the meeting minutes and I have no changes.
sweet, I'm a terrible proofreader, I already did that. I'm gonna, I'll second.
Thank you.
So, okay, I'm sorry, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes for July 9th?
Motion to approve the meeting minutes from July 9th.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Because you weren't on the board then.
Oh. Okay.
So, okay. No worries.
Two other quick things through the chair.
Yes?
So we did receive the comments, I believe they might have went to you as well, from Emma Williamson regarding 47 Rockland, the one that she had until July 14th to comment on.
Yes.
And basically the only thing was provide updated stormwater report and associated calculations. So that's in process, obviously.
Okay.
One other thing, we did get a final report from Quinn Engineering. I gave everybody a copy of that tonight as well. This is going to be the last report that he's doing. It's basically mostly stabilized. So DPW will be going out, doing a visit out there, and Conservation, we should definitely go out there and take a look at that as well.
All right.
That's my idea. Excellent.
think that's it.
Okay.
Is there,
Motion to close?
well, hold it. Hold it. Is there any new business? If there is no new business, wait for it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So